Everybody, it's Monica with your best female figure, and today I'm back with a brand new camera that Santa got me for Christmas. It came in a kit with all kinds of really cool things that I have to learn how to use. It's a lot better than my previous camera, which wasn't cheap, by the way. I bought it a few years back and it was $500. This camera is a nice upgrade. It's definitely not in the $2,000 to $6,000 price range that I was looking at, but I am really happy with it, and it has a lot of really amazing features. I just have to learn how to use it. It is a little bit complicated. So yesterday I filmed. I wasn't like super happy with the footage, but I will eventually figure out all the settings. That's kind of what happens with new technology. You get something and then you have to spend a whole bunch of time learning how to use it, just like I did with editing software. Anyways, I have tons of exercises and stretches for you today that are going to help correct posture imbalances from sitting in cars or planes if you've been traveling for the holidays, also if you've been wearing heels a lot, and if you have been diet cheating. This is going to help to detox your body, and it's also going to help your digestion. So the first exercise is a stability ball back extension. You're going to lay face down on a ball with your legs straight and your upper body just hanging down towards the floor below the top of the ball. You're going to really relax so that your spine is nice and rounded. Then you're going to contract your deep abdominals, and you're going to start to squeeze your shoulder blades together and really contract your upper back muscles to lift your upper body all the way off the ball. And then you're going to rotate your arms all the way back so that your hands are facing the walls, and then slowly lower back down. Do about 8 repetitions of this, and if you don't have a ball, you can do this on the floor with assistance of a foam roller if you want to. Right after you do that exercise, you're going to go into bow pose. Make sure that you're using your back muscles to lift those legs off the ground, and also contract your abs to protect the low back. Hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. Done with that, you're going to continue with this kneeling side series. So from a kneeling position, straighten one leg out to the side, and then reach your opposite arm down to the floor, placing your hand on the floor in a modified side plank. You're going to contract your deep abdominals and upper back muscles as you swing that leg back and forth. Use your booty muscles and your hip flexors to swing that leg. The exercise is not the leg swinging, it's actually the deep abdominals and upper back contracting to keep your upper body stable as the leg swings back and forth. And then you're going to do 5 circles to the front and 5 circles in reverse, and right after that you're going to go into gate pose. As you're doing this pose, make sure that you're lengthening through the rib cage, so you're reaching that arm in the same direction as the straight leg, and you are still contracting your deep abdominals and engaging your upper back muscles for support. Now, if that is not a good enough stretch, you can also use a foam roller to go in there a little bit deeper. This is best for people that have really good inner thigh flexibility. If you struggle with your inner thigh flexibility, I do not recommend using the foam roller because it's going to get really intense. I prefer that version. I don't feel when I'm in gate pose that I'm really getting a whole lot of stretch. And actually, if you've ever looked at pictures of gate pose, your hand is supposed to go on your leg, not on the floor. But when I do it like that, I don't feel anything. So I like to take my hand to the floor. Sometimes I can actually place my hand all the way down on the floor. Yesterday, for some reason, I was feeling really tight in my hips, so I couldn't do that. But once I got on the foam roller, I was really able to get a really nice stretch through the rib cage. And because I was focusing a lot on what was going on with my core and my upper back, I could feel like my waist just kind of squeezing in together to protect my spine. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to move on to a balancing core and glute activation exercise. If you're a beginner, you can do this move on the floor. But if you're more intermediate to advanced, balancing on something like a foam roller or a mega medicine ball, like the big red and gray one that you've seen in many of my videos, or even on those Dyna discs, is a really great way to continue to build more stability in your core. So you're going to extend one leg back and the opposite arm forward with fingers, thumb pointing up towards the ceiling. That part is really important. That's going to allow you to really engage your back muscles and stay aligned so that you can really focus on squeezing your deep abdominals nice and tight and also squeezing your glute muscles. So this is one of the top exercises, according to scientists, for glute activation and for glute building. So if you can get this move right, you're going to be setting yourself up for much better booty workouts and booty workout results. It is not easy balancing on the foam roller. So if this is too much of a challenge for you and it's frustrating you, I recommend using the Mega Medicine Ball. That's how I got started with the balancing version of this move. You can also use a yoga block just to kind of get a feel for being on a really small surface. See, a yoga block's not going to roll around like a foam roller or a ball, but it's still going to provide a bit of a balance challenge just because it's a small object and a lot of your weight is being supported by this tiny little object. So once you're done with this exercise, you're going to move on to a single leg bridge with leg circles or with leg lowers. It's entirely up to you. So just do 5 rotations in one direction and then 5 rotations in the opposite direction. And the point of this exercise, again, is not the leg swinging or the leg circles. The point is to use your deep abdominals and your glute muscles to keep your hips elevated as high as possible, placing all the weight through that heel that's on top of the foam roller. You can do this exercise on the floor as well. You can do it with a yoga block, with foot on a chair. You can also do it with foot on a Mega Medicine Ball, even with your foot on a stability ball, as you've seen me do it before. I really like the foam roller version because it allows me to move my free leg around in a lot more dynamic way. Once you're done with that, you're going to do the sugar cane pose. So you're going to balance on one leg, so bend over from the hips, then bring one leg up, and you're going to reach for your foot just like you did in bow pose. So this is like standing bow, but it's called sugar cane. And you can support yourself by placing your hand on a foam roller or a ball or just a yoga block or the floor. I like the ball and the foam roller because it's a bit of a challenge in terms of balance, and you're just going to hold that for anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds on each side. When you're done with that, you can continue with a wide leg fold over with a twist. This is a very advanced fold over, and you can totally skip this if you don't have that kind of flexibility in your torso and your hips, but this is a really great way to activate your deep abdominals and to stretch the backs of your legs and your hips, which you have been working this entire time. Now you're going to move on to this rolling back bend. So you're just placing your upper back on the foam roller and you're rolling back and forth. So you're kind of in a bridge position. You're coming up to the balls of the feet and then you're bringing your hands back behind you and almost pushing up into a back bend, but you just keep rolling back and forth. And then on your last repetition, you can do about 8 reps. Then you're going to press up into this back bend. If you lift your heels off the ground, that's a lot easier on your back. It's also easier, and if you have a funny little dog who won't leave you alone during your workout, or a cat, he might walk underneath you while you're doing the back bend. And then you just lay in fish pose with your upper back on the foam roller. Foam roller is too intense for you, you can also transition back and forth between a regular bridge on the floor and the back bend. And you can also try other types of back bends. And in between the back bends, you can do a glute stretch. This is a reclined cow face. You're just stacking your legs on top of each other like a pretzel, pulling your feet in and really sinking your back into the floor. Really nice stretch to do after all that work that you've been doing on your glutes. And then if you want to, you can try a more advanced back bend. So you're just going to press up into back bend and then you're going to lower onto the top of your head. And if your hands are sliding, you can just rub them together and that actually will help to not slide on the carpet. And then you're going to lower from there onto your forearms, and if you have the flexibility, you can straighten your legs all the way out. I didn't try that yesterday because I wasn't feeling that strong about it. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has been helpful. I will be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your best female figure. Thank you so much for watching.